I think that's the name of the game with dressing, yeah.
Fantastic to get to know you more. Thanks so much, Andrew.
Thank you.
It is time now for our YouTube Creator Spotlight. This week we feature Christopher Williams, a.k.a. LightSkinChris. Chris is an Angels fan whose channel specializes in streaming MLB The Show's Dynasty mode. So I'm really excited to learn a little bit about video games and YouTube because this is so fun. And we want to welcome Chris into the show now. Chris, thanks so much for joining us first and foremost.
Yeah, how you doing? I'm doing great out here in California. How you doing?
Oh, I love to hear that. All things good here in Jersey as well. So let's get right to it. Can you tell us about how you play the show, specifically for those like me who may not know what Dynasty mode and pulling packs is?
So Diamond Dynasty is like you have your current players and you have your players from the past. So you have your Babe Ruths, you have your Ken Griffey Jr.'s, and you can pretty much use any of those cards that they have the rights to. So Ken Griffey Jr. in the game, you have guys like Mike Trout in the game as well, your current day, your past as well. And you can pretty much pull packs, get those cards within packs. I have some pretty cool pulls that we'll talk about hopefully later, but pretty much using cards from the past, current day, assembling a team and being the manager of your own in-game roster is pretty much what Diamond Dynasty is, and playing against online people around the world. It's awesome.
I love that. So you have everyone at your disposal. It has to be so much fun. You're selling me on it quite a bit here. And you just mentioned you pulled some pretty cool packs. What is the most exciting card that you have ever pulled?
It's gotta be Mike Trout.
Okay.
If you haven't played Diamond Dynasty, you don't know how much he goes for, but he's like winning the lottery in MLB The Show, basically. It's pulling Mike Trout is amazing. It's like you pulled the best card in the game, at least when the game first starts, he is. So really expensive card, and it's awesome. It's like winning the lottery, and I've pulled Trout a couple times. It's been an amazing and interesting celebration, I'm sure you can see.
We are seeing that celebration that you're talking about, and I would love to see if you actually won the lottery, if that's how excited you are about Mike Trout, because that was a fantastic celebration. So I'm not sure if this would lead to your next answer. You are an Angels fan. You love Mike Trout. But who is your favorite card to play with in the game overall?
So I love Mike Trout. I love to use him. He's so fun to use in the game. He's great. But I got to go with Ken Griffey Jr.
Yes.
For me, I wasn't able to watch his, best days growing up because I'm pretty young, but he's really fun to use in the game. He's got an amazing swing. First off, he's got a great swing. And there's always, in MLB The Show 22, there's some guys that don't have the greatest swing, but Ken Griffey's swing is just like real life. That thing is definitely going to hit a lot of baseballs. Perfect, what it would be called in MLB The Show 22. So he's got a smooth, great swing, so fun to use. And I love Mike Trout, but I got to go Ken Griffey Jr. there.
I love it. Who doesn't love playing with the kid? That's just fantastic stuff there. Now,
right.
You have different ratings with these cards, and you're all about pulling the packs. But if you could explain to us, is there a player out there right now that you think is actually better than what their card currently is?
So there's a couple of underrated cards, shall I say, like Jose Ramirez. I love Jose Ramirez. J-Ram. He's really good. Like, I feel like he doesn't get as much hype as he should playing there with the Cleveland Guardians, but switch hitter, great swing. I love to use him in the game. I love to watch him in real life too. Really good player. And I would say he's one of the more underrated that I've used in the game. I always love using him, and he's definitely a lot higher than what I would rank him within the game and in real life as well. I love J-Ram.
All right, I like that. I like the insight there from you. Of course, the expert would know. But let's switch over to the actual game happening on the field here today. You are huge Angels fans. We've been saying that. Do you have a favorite moment from watching the Halos?
I do, and that was Jared Weaver's no-hitter in 2012. It was 2012. But there's another moment that I love as well. So it goes back to, I believe, 2015. It was Mike Trout robbing, I think, Jesus Montero of a 2-run home run or whatever home run. I forgot if it was a 3-run home run, but nonetheless, let's talk about that play, right? So Mike Trout jumps on the wall, pretty much keeps himself up and makes this catch. And I don't know how it's not talked about as much as I feel like that's one of the greatest catches I've seen in the history. I mean, that being there in person, it was like watching Superman jump up on the wall and catch the baseball. It was crazy. I just replaying that home run robbery in my head. It's like, that play was amazing. I feel like it should be talked about more, but Mike Trout just makes everything look so easy. So he just made that amazing play look so easy, but that's got to be one of my top moments being an Angels fan, is being there and watching that in person. It looked like Superman jumping on the wall and making that play. It was an amazing catch.
I love that. We can feel the passion as you were talking about it. But to your point, he does make everything look so easy. And as a Jersey girl, I'm always rooting for that Jersey boy as well. Now, we'll switch gears a little bit with this Angels team because sadly and understandably, there's been some turmoil surrounding them this season, including Shohei Ohtani's future with the club. What do you think they should do? Hold on to him or trade him for prospects?
So I'm not the biggest prospect guy. Obviously, you can get a really big haul for a guy like Shohei Ohtani, right? So the Angels situation is obviously I think we can say that probably not making the playoffs this season. So next year is a really big year. We have a lot of money to spend in free agency. So hopefully we put the money in, the right spots and get the correct accusations here on the team. So for the Angels right now, we have Anthony Rendon injured, out for the rest of the season. And having him come back next year is going to be huge. Having him in that 3-hole or cleanup hole, whether he's in front of Mike Trout or behind Mike Trout, with Ohtani as your 2, 3, 4 hitters, it can be a great offense. We've seen it April and May. They had a really good record, and then, we've had some injuries, and that's where we're at now. So we have a lot of money to spend in the offseason. I think the Angels can, make a run next season, but the money needs to be spent at the correct spots. But going back on Shohei Ohtani, I feel like if the Angels are in a spot where they're not making the playoffs next season and they, perhaps need to sell, they might trade him for prospects. But I'm hoping that we can, be contenders next season and potentially re-sign Shohei to probably a record-breaking deal. I'm sure he'd get a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, that would pretty much be a guarantee. You certainly know your team, and we appreciate you spending some time with us here on the YouTube pregame show. Keep up the great content on YouTube. And again, Chris Williams, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great, wonderful rest of your day.